Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, returning for another Sunday afternoon broadcast here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And I am really thrilled that you're here with me today. Forgive me for looking aside. I just got a signal that said that my signal was weak, but that notification disappeared. So I'm going to trust that everything is A-OK and that you can hear me all right. And happy Sunday, everybody. For some of you Aussies out there who might be tuning in, I suppose it might be Monday for you, coming up soon. We're back again for a continuation on the topic that I've done over the last couple of Sundays, which relates around building strong patient relationships so that you can help to build your dental practice organically. Even if you're putting out a lot of resources for your marketing campaigns, you know, when patients come in the door, that's only part of the process. It's up to you, once your patients find you, to keep them there and to find out whatever their needs are, find ways of communicating well with them to help them feel comfortable, to help them feel safe, to feel like they found their dental home. And that's just a great winning situation, not only for them, because they find relief that they found a great place where they can receive the dental care that they need, the dental care that they want, and also for their family and friends to come to your dental practice. It's great for them and it's great for you because you get to have a peace of mind that what you're doing, that you're on the right track, that you're doing well, that you are reaching your patients in a way that you find important, and that helps you lead a fulfilling career, whether you're a dentist, whether you're a dental hygienist, whether you're part of the support team as an assistant or anyone else in the front office. You know, these are important relationships to build, and that's why I've been doing this video series. I'd like to be able to share with you tips that I have found to be really, really effective, and they're tips that relate around subjects that I may have taken for granted at one point or another. And then I realize more and more over the years of my dental practice, as people have shared with me, that they really appreciate these qualities, either of myself. Hi, Jamie, I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for commenting. Or of my dental team. I love getting great feedback from people, and we receive a lot of really positive feedback. And from that feedback loop that we've been getting, it's become more and more apparent that these are very important qualities to pass along to other dentists and their dental teams. And so I hope that you continue to find this helpful. So before I get started on a couple of new tips, I wanted to remind you, and you may see this on some of my other posts on my Facebook page, but I'm going to ask you to send a text to 44222 and type in DRDARYA, and that's for Dr. Darya, but there's no period there. So go ahead and wait till the video's over and then send a text message to 44222, and it's going to ask you to put in a code, and that code will be DRDARYA for Dr. Darya, and it'll ask you to input your email, and when you do that, you'll be able to receive a summary checklist of some of the tips that I presented on an earlier video that are sure to be able to help you out, and you can print them out, you can pass them along to your team members, you can email it to other folks, although I'll ask you to do me the favor of sending them over to my Facebook page so that they can find some information that'll be helpful for them there too, and they can also sign up to join my email list. Also on my Facebook page, you'll see a button that says Learn More, and that will take you to the same track. So if you don't want to use your text messaging, here you are on my Facebook page. You can go ahead and click on the Learn More button, and that's where it'll ask you to enter your email address, and so you'll be able to receive the link that way. So, all right, more on that later. And so what I wanted to jump into here, and I'm going to make reference off the side over here, you know, have you ever found that there are people who come in, for whatever reason, it has been many years since the last time that they've been to the dentist, and they might not even have been to the dentist at all in their lifetime, and for some reason they found their way into your chair. They might be in pain, or they might have missing teeth, and they feel very self-conscious about that. They might have a lot of self-esteem issues too that relate around their smile and issues that they're having with their teeth. They might have had a family member who's been urging them to go to the dentist, and maybe they are there in your chair reluctantly. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be a lot of information for them to digest after you've gone through your exam. And even while they're listening to you read off your findings to your assistant to be able to document those findings, it still is going to feel perhaps very overwhelming to them. And part of what I see my job is making things easier for my patients to understand as far as what's going on in their mouth, to help them make the decision that's right for them as far as what step do we take next. Now, I know that they're listening to me listing off a whole lot of things. I might be mentioning that they've got, there's a crack in this tooth. I might say there's decay on this surface. I might say there's an amalgam that's covering all these surfaces, and they're just hearing a lot of what sounds to them as gibberish. This can be unsettling to people. So what I want you to do is to break down what it is that you're doing and explain it to them in small bits. The first thing that I'll do, and this relates back with what I had spoken about in my last video, as far as explaining steps along the way, giving your patient a heads up of what you're about to do before you do it. I'll tell them, now you're going to hear me calling out a lot of numbers, letters, using words that you may not understand. And what I'm basically doing is I'm describing to my assistant what it is that I see on your tooth. So it tells me where, what kind of, if you have a filling, if you have a crown, I'm just describing what it is that I see and what part of the tooth it covers. So right away that will put their mind at ease. They're going to stop wondering and getting stressed out, going, what the heck is she talking about? So, so it helps put them at ease a bit. And of course, as we know, it's super important for our patients to feel at ease, because we can move through more activity in a smoother way, and that's helpful for everybody involved. So, so I'll start off by telling them that, and as I'm describing, okay, these are the teeth that are missing, and we might be listing a lot of teeth that are missing. At some point, I probably already have shared with them that I'm not here to judge them, because usually they're doing a really good job of that for themselves. So I try and make it really clear that I'm just listing off what it is that I see, and we can talk about what that means a bit later. So as I'm going through my findings, then first I tell them we're about to go through your gum exam, and I'll give them a heads up about what it is that I'm doing there. And again, I'll tell them you're going to hear me calling out a lot of numbers. I'll explain to you when I'm done what all of this means. So now, we've listed off all of our findings, and the range of findings could be anywhere from there being mild gingivitis, all we need to do is see them in a number of months to do their next cleaning, or they might have cracked teeth, they might have numerous areas of decay, they might have fillings that are broken, they might have a lot of things that are going on there. And now the challenge is, how do we communicate with them in such a way that they'll be able to follow what we're talking about instead of it just going over their head, because we want them to be able to receive the dental care that they need. So what I find is that once you've done your findings, put down your instruments, adjust your chair, put their chair up so that you can sit face to face. You can watch my video from last week where I talk about speaking to your patients at eye level. That's super important so that they can receive the information that you're going to share. You can ask them outright. Ask them, is it helpful for you to see some images of your teeth on the radiographs that we have here on the screen? And they'll let you know if that's helpful or not. Maybe you can use a model. We all have models of teeth in our offices. Maybe they could use pictures, just try and sense what it is that their learning style is so that we can work with them. Now, I think that we've probably all had situations where, hi May, I'm glad that you joined me. Thanks for giving me a heads up. I think we've all had situations where there are people with a lot of issues that need to be addressed. They've got periodontitis. We can't even reach the fillings that need to be done, the teeth to do the fillings, until we can help the gum disease issue, right? So we have to start there, but they might be thinking, well, doc, all I want to do is, this tooth is black here, all I want to do is fix that. So we have to just step back and decide at what point do we begin with them. And if I give them an entire treatment plan now or in a subsequent visit, is that just going to be a reason for them to turn around and go, oh, hey, yeah, thanks, and walk out the door and never come back? So the tip that I'm ultimately giving to you is break it down in smaller chunks for them and let them know that's what you're doing. Thereby, what you're not doing is you're not neglecting to share with them information. You're not neglecting to include in the treatment plan important dental treatment, but you are starting off by saying, tell you what, let's begin with doing the deep cleaning that's really necessary. And I'll just show you again, if you look at the x-rays here, see those white parts, that those chunks that are sticking off the side of your tooth? That's the tartar there that is quite heavy, so heavy that the dental x-ray cannot penetrate through it. So it's super important that we clean that off so that your gums can heal. Then make reference to one of their chief concerns or to one of the check marks that they checked off on your health history form or your chief concern form. So they might be saying, yeah, I have bad breath. And my wife tells me I have bad breath, these sorts of things. So you can say, this is a super important step that we really pay close attention to. And what you're going to find is very, very soon, your mouth is going to be tasting better. You're going to be feeling less self-conscious about having bad breath because you're going to find that that's going to be improving. So what I'm doing is I'm relating to them a benefit. And then what I'll say is, how about this? We'll go ahead, we'll schedule for doing the deep cleaning. I'm going to put together a treatment plan for you that's going to show you that. And then what we'll do at the subsequent steps is then I'll start to be able to confirm what it is what else needs to be done, what's the highest priority, what means the most to you, and what makes the most sense as far as your health goes. Then we'll go ahead and we'll start taking on the next step, and that will be doing some of the fillings that you need. Thanks, May. Yes, I like tying it to what the patient is concerned about too, because then I know that I'm speaking their language and I know that they're feeling respected. And well, I hope that they're feeling respected. At least that's my intention, is for the person to be feeling respected, and that they're coming here and they're getting their questions answered, and they're finding that they're being paid attention to, which is super important. If your patient feels like when they arrive at your dental office, they're just treated like a number and you're not addressing what they care about, then they have the perception that you're just there to boost your pocketbook. That's the only reason why they're there. As an example, they've shared with me that they felt that they left another office because they felt like they were just one of hundreds and hundreds of people who were there. It didn't matter what their concerns were, because they were just like being cattled through, like cattle. And they weren't feeling like they were treated like a person. So once we can establish that they are important people and we care about their dental health and about what their concerns are, now, yes, we're meeting them where they are and we're able to move together forward from there. So super duper important point. Thanks for bringing that up, May. So I know I told you that was one tip, but I think that I've kind of thrown in a whole lot into that one subject, which really had to do with making every effort to not overwhelm your patient. They still might be overwhelmed, and it's also helpful to acknowledge that and let them know that, I can tell it seems like this might be a bit overwhelming for you. What's the next key? Okay, sidebar, I can tell how this video is going to go. I'm just going to keep inserting little tips, and that's just the way that it's going to go. I might deviate. I think I might be deviating from my original plan, but that's okay, because I feel like these are some very, very important gems for you to consider and to incorporate into what it is that you're doing. And what would be great is if you would type in whatever questions that you have. And I know that a lot of you are watching this on the replay, and that's just fine, because I look at those comments, I'll read them, and it will help me know what to deliver in the next video. So that's super duper important. I really appreciate your feedback and your questions. And if there are any topics that you feel like you'd like me to address in a future video, then please write them down, or you can message me write on my Facebook page, send me a message, and I'll do my best to incorporate that into a next video. So what I was about to say was that, did I acknowledge where, by acknowledging that they might be feeling overwhelmed, that they might not quite understand everything that you're talking about, you reassure them and say, that's okay. I don't expect you to understand all of this. What I see my job is to inform you, let you know what it is that I see needs to be addressed, and I want to hear from you what's important to you, and together we'll come up with a plan so that we'll take it step by step by step, and we'll help you each step of the way. And I use those words like, we'll help you. I'm here to help you, because I want them to understand that that's the truth. I'm here to help you. And if you have any questions, I want you to go ahead and ask them, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. And if something feels like we're moving too quickly, or we're not going in the direction that you thought that we should be, please let me know, because we can always redirect what we're doing once we understand, you know, what position we're coming from and what your needs are. So that all boils down to listening, right? Listening to where they are, paying attention to body language, paying attention to verbal cues, verbal language, and then also rejoining with your team from time to time, or even asking your team members, how did that visit go, or what were some of the impressions that you had about how that visit went, and encourage your team members to approach you with any remarks that your patients are mentioning, whether that's good or bad, because it will help you be able to get on the same page with them and achieve the goals that they're there for. They're there for their dental health. So I feel like I covered a lot of ground here. Love that you're on their side, working with them, not on them completely, May. That's super duper important. I do let my patients know that in any way that I can, and I ask for their feedback. I check in with them as we're going along, and I also let them know, for instance, when I'm doing a dental procedure, I know that it's hard to keep the mouth open for long stretches of time, and I'll acknowledge that to them, and I'll say, you know what? It is completely unnatural for your mouth to be open this long. So it's okay for us to take breaks. Just let me know, wave, at me if you need a break, and we'll do our best to give you breaks from time to time, but just let us know if you feel like you need a break sooner than when we offer that to you, so that they understand that they have control. And that's another really, really important principle, and we can get into that probably more in another video or at another time. There's going to be opportunities for us to go deeper into the information that I'm talking about, and I'll be able to let you know when that's going to be. Right now, I'm doing my best to listen from you what are concerns that you have and what are questions that you have as dentists and dental practitioners on ways that you might find gaps in communication style, or wondering why is it that your patients aren't accepting the treatment that you are providing, and they're not rescheduling their appointments. And so bit by bit, I'm covering different topics that help reinforce to them the importance of coming back to your office for more dental treatment. And a huge foundation that is necessary is for them to understand that you're on their side, and that it's your purpose to be able to serve their dental needs as best as possible. And what I'll tell you is that over the years that I've been a general dentist, which has been over 20 years now, and whether it's in my own private practice or at the dental school where I've been teaching for about the same stretch of time in the dental clinics when I'm there sitting with the patients and their student doctors, it is so important that your patient understands that you're there for them and that you want to be able to serve them as best you can. Because when they can sense your authenticity, when they can sense that you really do have their best interests at heart, then it's just so much, you'll have a very successful relationship and a long-term relationship. And they're going to be very thankful to be able to have your name to refer to their friends and their family members, because they have that much confidence in you. And this is how I've built my dental practice, is by being me. like what you see, how you see me on this video with you now, this is me. This is how I talk with people. This is how I talk with you if you're my friend. This is how I talk with my colleagues. This is how I speak with my patients. And we smile a lot, we laugh a lot, we converse about all sorts of different things. We'll have all sorts of different topics of conversation. And there's an inherent trust that's there. And I tell you, when it's not there, and I felt when it's not there in the past, that is very, very hard to manage, very, very hard to deal with. And what I'll do you, thanks Jamie, we love you the way you are. Thank you so much. Well, I mean, that's important, right? It's important for us to be the way that we are. After all, that's why our patients are coming to us. That's why our customers, our clients are coming to us. It's for us. It's because they feel comfortable. They feel confident. They like you. So that's one barrier that's gone. And if they don't trust you, and I've felt that before, two things. One is I've had to question what's going on inside me that this response is happening. Am I reflecting something? Am I thinking about something that doesn't have anything to do with this person and this circumstance that we're involved with each other right now? Am I distracted? And are they sensing that? So I have to go through my own checklist in my own mind and make sure I'm present because they deserve me to be present. Or is this just the way this person is? And do they have their own life story and their own baggage that they're bringing in with them that you have no control over? And many times the answer to that question is yes. And all you can do is your best. All you can do is offer the best of you. All you can do is put your best foot forward and let them know that that's what you're doing. That's why you're here. That's why so many people love being here. And if it doesn't resonate with them, it's okay. It means it's not a good match. And you don't need to try and force anything. So, well, that's one more tip that I wasn't anticipating of giving you. But it's true. You cannot please everybody. You are not the person for everybody, and that's okay. We need to be okay with that and be able to let that that conflict of ego go, because there are so many people that are there for us just the way that we are, and we don't have to try and be somebody else. And that's when magic happens, and that is when happiness in your practice happens. That's when your practice grows exponentially because you are who you are. So you're going to get people knocking on your door saying, hey doctor, look at this great advertising scheme we have. Doctor, why don't you go ahead and sign up with our service? Oh doctor, I know that we've got this great marketing plan and all you have to do is sign here. It's only going to cost you this much per month, and put all sorts of different spins on things. You can sign up for as many services as you want. But the fact is that if you cannot retain the people once they've come through your door, you've got a lot more to work on. And you can put out a lot of money, a lot of funding towards outside marketing, and just make a practice built off of new patient exams and maybe a cleaning here and there. And that's hard to do. It's hard to find fulfillment in your career when you're just feel like you're only just getting started and then it doesn't go anywhere. And oh wow, we can do this, and this to help this person out. Or oh, look at this great big treatment plan that we can have. You might look at things that way and it doesn't come into fruition because you know what? People are sensing that you're looking at this great big treatment plan and how many dollars it's going to bring in. It can't be what it's about. It has to be about you being you, your team being who they are, you all working together to serve the needs of your patient. And that's when the magic and the growth happens. If you're not your authentic self and you're not authentically doing your best to care for your patients, they're going to know that and they're going to feel that. They're going to feel that you have an ulterior motive, and that automatically translates to them that you're just here to make money. Of course we're here to make money. Everybody is here to make money because money makes the world go round. Money is a means for exchange. Money is how we sustain our lives, right? But what they're sensing or what they're projecting onto you is something different. They're thinking that all you care about is making tons of money and you don't care about them. So the way that you get rid of that yes, we all have to be concerned about our bottom line. We have to look at our dental practice with business eyes, because we're there in business to serve our community. And you know who else is part of our community, not just our patients? Our employees. We're there for our employees too. We have to be successful because other people are depending on us. That's how communities operate. That's how we operate. We rely on one another. You know how they say it takes a village? Well, yeah, you're part of that village, and your success is relied upon by many people. And when you can see things that way, that we're all in it together, you don't even have to count the numbers, because people are going to just keep coming back. They're going to keep coming back for more because they love being there with you, and they know that they're being cared for, and they want to do nice things for you too. All right. So I think I've kind of gone on in a number of directions, and that's okay. You're going to find that there will be a whole wealth of knowledge. I've got it in here, and I want to share it with you. And so I appreciate the time that you've spent with me here, and I appreciate your desire to learn more. And I want to ask you again to leave comments for me and questions. And I'm not the answer for every client, and that's okay. Absolutely. If we pay too much attention on what's not working, we're going to get more of what's not working. What we want to do is devote our attention to what is working. And that's how we just keep growing our practices and become more and more successful. So I've enjoyed that success in my life and my practice, and I want to help you enjoy that success in yours. So once again, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and send a text to 44222 and type in Dr. Darya, which is DRDARYA with no dots there. My enthusiasm is infectious. Thanks, Jamie. Well, yes, I want it to be infectious, because life is so much better when we can be enthusiastic and happy. And again, it goes around and around and around that. Okay, I'm going on and on. I will tell you one other thing that was really great. I actually was feeling pretty stressed on Friday because of one particular situation, and I was anticipating someone coming into my office, and I had gotten tense, and it just took me a whole lot to just get over that and make sure I was doing my best for this patient, giving her what I could, serving her needs, and I knew what needed to be done, and I knew I knew I was encountering a personality type that is challenging for me to deal with. After the fact, I was still feeling a bit tense, and my assistant comes to me and she kind of does this to my shoulder. She's like, "Are you okay, doctor? Is everything okay?" And I just about melted because it was so sweet. A couple things. One is that I noticed that, if she's asking me that, I need to regroup and check in and make sure that I'm doing well, and center myself, because if I'm stressed by something, especially if it's after the fact, I need to let go of that so that I can keep moving forward and be present for everybody else. But the second thing that was so sweet was that she cared for me, right? She cared about how I was feeling, and she let me know that. And that was just a very precious moment that I appreciated. And at the end of the day, I thanked her for that too. Thank you for what you said. And like that made me feel good, because it's good for us to give feedback back and let people know that you appreciate them, and that really did make a difference for me. It meant a lot to me that it was just a quick moment, but I felt that she cared, and the point in bringing that up is that, when we are enthusiastic and when we do love what we do, and other people feel that, they want to be giving to you too. So that's how the world goes round. So thanks again for joining me. If you haven't already liked my Facebook page, please do that. Let's get those thumbs up rolling, and you can click on the Learn More button, and that will ask you the same thing that texting 44222 will ask you. Once you enter DRDARYA, which stands for Dr. Darya, you'll be able to receive a checklist that looks kind of like this, only not in backwards print, which is has got some more great tips that a lot of people have found to be helpful, and I hope you will too. Feel free to pass it along and let others know that there's more information here on my Facebook page, Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, and also you can find me on YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, the Gentle Dentist. And I look forward to seeing more of you, and thanks again for your feedback. Keep posting that, and when you get an email from me, I'd love it if you reply back and let me know of any other questions that you have, because that'll be food for thought for my next video, okay? Thanks so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, and I look forward to seeing you the next time. Bye.